Every day, we're here for you. We get things off the ground, keeping you connected. We're here keeping you safe and secure. We keep things running smoothly and know the importance of giving back. Every day, we're here. ARA. Here for you. Here for good.
Welcome to Quick Wisdom by Everyday Greatness, and thanks for joining me. I'm your host, Barnaby Howarth. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands this interview is taking place on, the Dark and Young people of the Eora Nation. I love being Australian, so I want to thank our Indigenous brothers and sisters for sharing their land with us. This is the last episode in a series looking at how to stay humble. And today is one of the most humbling experiences over my entire 10 years of hosting Everyday Greatness. My guest today, co-founder of invoice lending platform Waddle, Nathan Andrews, is one of the most humble dudes going around. After selling Waddle for a handsome sum, Nathan bought a beautiful property in a spectacular valley in New South Wales. And he also founded Hatch, a group that's changing the face of foster care in New South Wales. Hatch aims to take care of foster children by looking after the carers that take care of those children. Nathan spends big chunks of his day these days tending his property, mowing lawns, building fences, and building staircases. The humbling part of this experience for me, though, is that Nathan is notoriously media shy, but he's invited me to come and sit down and have a chat about how he's managed to stay humble in his life and to tell us about the exciting things that Hatch have got coming up and what they do. So it's an absolute privilege for me to say that Nathan Andrews joins me on Quick Wisdom. Nathan, thank you for having me in your property and welcome to Quick Wisdom.
It's great to have you here, mate.
It's very kind of you. So let's start from the start. Let's get deep straight away. What was it in your early life that made you think that humility was an important trait in life?
Well, I mean, I'd have to go right back to 1988, where my parents bought a property out in Oakville near Windsor. It was a tough time to buy a place. I mean, the interest rates were pretty high in the 80s. And so I think they probably had a tough go of it for a few years there, and I think it created a pretty simple but wonderful place to grow up. I spent a lot of time running around outside, building tree houses, pretending to be a superhero and running around the backyard. Mum and dad were. Dad was a science teacher. Mum was a speech pathologist. I think they just often brought interesting learnings home and supported us in wonderful ways. Took us to church every Sunday, so kind of had a nice community of people around us there. Some great mentors growing up. I mean, Dad used to stick quotes on my wall. I remember one. It was some sort of blurb, and at the end it said something along the lines of 10% of life is what happens, and 90% is the way you deal with it. And so I guess having that kind of quote above you every day you wake up, that's probably pretty humbling.
Very cool. So tell me about your business dealings. Fast forward a few years, you're selling Waddle for a fairly hefty sum. Most people's experience of deals in the millions of dollars comes from Hollywood movies. Mm-hmm. So give us a behind the scenes spiel on what that's like. Is it ruthless and aggressive and impersonal?
Oh, I mean, it can be. I mean, there's a bunch of the specifics of that kind of, of that kind of stuff I can't even talk about. But I think broadly speaking, a lot of the time it is still just BAU, business as usual. You just got to get in there and work with the people around you and get stuff done, and not get sidetracked by that kind of stuff, I think. I would probably say that just trying to stay present and stay healthy is the best way to get through moments like that. Helping you not get caught up in talks that are often, let's face it, it's just monopoly money when everyone's kind of yapping, and just staying true to what you need to do every day to run a business. So I just make sure get good sleep and go for a run in the morning, and maybe avoid the glass of wine on a Tuesday night.
You're a better man than me, avoiding a glass of wine. So your property is beautiful, mate. What practical steps do you take around here to help you stay humble?
Well, I guess I mean, the steps that I take around here I have to do, otherwise my grass would be a metre high. I've got about 4 or 5 hours of mowing every week to do. In fact, I feel like the man from Snowy River on my my lawnmower, because it's so steep here. I've had to learn a few techniques and put a roll bar on the mower to make sure that I stay upright. But yeah, no, the property when I came here was fairly inaccessible, most of it. So retaining areas, building steps, learning how to build a stone wall looks easier than what it is. Make sure you put some drainage behind it, or the whole thing will fall over, next time it rains. So, yep, try and introduce a few plants and make sure they don't die.
Fair enough. Now, I understand that music has been an important part of your journey to stay humble. What have you done since you sold Waddle in terms of seeing international musicians? I saw the Goo Goo Dolls last week. Iris, it's got to be one of the songs of the 90s, hasn't it? 90s or 2000s, I think that was written in the 90s. We've seen a bunch of bands recently, my partner and I. Saw Pearl Jam, saw Crowded House, saw a lot of local artists. Jebediah, Greenspoon, Whitlams. But yeah, no, I like to play music myself, so got a piano and a couple of guitars. I kind of promised myself during my time off that I would try and write some music again. I used to do a bit of writing and playing music through Sydney back in the day, so I've started recording an EP that I think no one but me will ever hear, maybe a few of my closer friends. But that's certainly, speaking about staying kind of healthy and present, I think picking up a guitar must be one of the best ways to do it. Have you got a name for your album yet? That's the fun part, isn't it?
Well, I mean, speaking of the property, it looks like I might call this silly band the Echidnas, or maybe Kevin and the Echidnas. That's the name that's getting played with at present. But like I said, it's probably just for me.
And tell us who Kevin is.
Kevin's, I'm surprised he's not here now. Kevin's the kookaburra that flies through and likes to ask for meat. Let's give him a pat occasionally.
So tell me about Hatch. A lot of people say that you don't mix family with business. But your sister runs Hatch. What's that relationship like?
Yeah, I mean, it's been difficult at times, just like you'd expect. I mean, my last business started off with kind of close friends, so similar dynamic, and so I've been through a dynamic like that before. It is difficult. You've got to kind of figure out where work starts and stops. So Marcy and I will have a silly argument every now and then that sounds more like we're 10 than we are in our 40s, but I think the fact that it's built on a good mission and built on trust keeps us together on the big decisions. and the big decisions is what matters.
Now, let me just clarify something. You started this by saying the relationship is difficult. You guys get along like a house on fire, don't you?
Yeah, no, so certainly. We were just playing tennis last Saturday for one of our birthdays, and it was all fun. And work never comes home. We're always fantastic as a family, but yeah, just working with friends and family is going to be difficult for anyone.
So tell me a bit about Hatch. What exactly does Hatch do, and how does it help foster children?
Yeah, so I want to start off by saying I am not an expert at all in this area. My sister's been around the industry for years, but Marcy and I saw an opportunity to help out in this area because the system, the relationship basically between the system and carers looked pretty broken. And so I've come in to help with some funding and just operationally, and I've learnt a bit through the process. We've been doing this for about 3 or 4 years now. But basically, we work with the carers, or we try and support the carers. And the mission would be, if we can help the carers are the ones looking after the kids. So, we've been working with a bunch of volunteers, professional carers as volunteers for the last couple of years, building a private online platform where carers can come along and speak and feel heard and feel supported, because my understanding is that trust between the carers and the system, and even the carers feeling like they've had a voice, just doesn't really exist anymore, and carers are leaving in droves. So that's the basic premise, is that every year we're seeing a lot of carers leave the system. 46,000 kids in care across Australia. I think there's about 16,000. This is the numbers I heard recently. I'm not sure if they're right or not, but around 16,000 children. And last year, some of these children were living in hotels with rotating caseworkers because there wasn't enough carers for them. So the outcomes for foster kids in Australia are not great. The statistics are pretty bad, and our thinking is that if we can get in and help support carers, and hopefully down the track even help support the system, or help make the system better and give the carers a voice back to the system, we're hoping that more carers will come and want to take care of kids, and there'll so more options for children and just better outcomes for children.
So it sounds like a pretty radically different way of addressing foster care in Australia by caring for the carers themselves. Have you had much pushback from organisations that have been doing this for decades and think they're doing everything right?
Oh, you'd have to talk to my sister to get a better answer on this one. But I mean, like, broadly speaking, I think there's both support and pushback. If curiosity, maybe, who are these people? What are they up to? What are they doing? How can everyone else has struggled to get in and help the system. So why would these guys be able to do that?
And why are you able to do that? What are some of the success stories?
Well, it's still baby steps. It's still just the beginning of the journey. But we've got quite a few carers on our platform now. The feedback has been reasonably good. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that we need to do to get close to, I guess, adhering to our mission. But I'd say just the fact that it's been running for a couple of years, and there is advocacy, there is support. There are people that believe in what we're doing. Just achieving that after a couple of years is pretty exciting.
And what are your biggest needs at Hatch at the moment? Do you need funding? Do you need volunteers? Do you need events? What do you need?
So we've set up a social enterprise which kind of celebrates the best parts of a charity, but also the best parts of like a proprietary limited company. So basically, we're in a situation where we can generate revenue and have shareholders. I think, yeah, definitely we need funding, and we'll be looking for, all sorts of creative ways to achieve that. Always looking for help volunteering in areas where we need support and help, often operationally. And obviously, like, the actual mission that we're pushing forward is that there's not enough carers. So if people are out there and curious about foster care, then there's information, ways to contact us at www.hatchcarers.com.au. Come find us.
Get amongst it. And let me ask you about foster carers and what people might think a foster carer needs. They need to give these foster kids a mystical superpower, take on the world and become astronauts or doctors or prime ministers, or is it just creating a stable environment for kids to grow up in?
Well, again, I am no expert here. I've never been a carer, but I mean the latter you would think for sure, because the stability isn't even there at the moment. So I think just the basic needs of these children are not being met when they're being rotated around, different families and then maybe back to their biological parents, and then maybe some time in a hotel. So we get the basic stuff right first.
Very good. Nathan Andrews, thank you so much for having me in your property, and thank you for talking about Hatch and your time with Waddle. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you to the ARA Group, our major sponsor for the 9th series in a row. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you can join us next week. This is the last episode in a series about how to stay humble, but next week we'll be looking at how to find success using athlete mentality. And I'll be talking to the founder of Weight Loss Coaching Works and my old mate from footy, Ben Physic. I hope you can join us for that one, but thank you for joining us.
Every day, we're here for you. We get things off the ground, keeping you connected. We're here keeping you safe and secure. We keep things running smoothly and know the importance of giving back. Every day, we're here. ARA, here for you, here for good.